Salako. We begin with headlines. Justice Olato Kombo Kekeriekun takes oath of office as the 23rd Chief Justice of Nigeria. Los Angeles Inspector General of Police orders watertight security across Nigeria to create conducive and safe environment for citizens to celebrate Independence Day. From the international scene, body of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, killed in an Israeli airstrike in southern Beirut, is recovered. Details of these and more coming your way soon. Do stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now details of the news. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has declared its readiness to ensure strict compliance with the Court Rules 2024, which came into effect on 1st August 2024, with the introduction of innovative provisions to enhance the efficiency of justice delivery. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekeriekun, gave the assurance in the State of the Nation address at the commencement of the 2024-25 legal year in Abuja. Correspondent Kuluju completes the story.
After our first official assignment, which was the swearing-in of the new 87 Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekeriekun, declared our readiness to strengthen court processes, provide speedy and qualitative administration of justice, reinforce structures from the Supreme Court to other courts of record, and reduce corruption to the barest minimum in the system. She added that the code of conduct for judicial officers will be strictly enforced, promising that the requisite ethical standards will be expected of the bar.
It is imperative for the judiciary to uphold the tenets of the Constitution, which remains the supreme law of the land. The rule of law, as the cornerstone of every functional democracy worldwide, should be strictly adhered to in all our undertakings. We must emphasize the importance of this principle to citizens at all levels, encouraging them to actively walk the path of legality and justice. The rights of every Nigerian must be vigilantly safeguarded against oppression and impunity, utilizing the full array of legal instruments at our disposal.
To the newly sworn Senior Advocates of Nigeria, Justice Kekeriekun urged them to live above board, noting that it is a privilege that could be withdrawn if abused. Other speakers at the event, including the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, and the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Afam Ozigwe, promised to support the judiciary in promoting the cause of justice in Nigeria through transparency and accountability.
I wish to reiterate that the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria comes with immense prestige and greater responsibilities. Those conferred with the rank automatically become members of the inner bar and revered apostles of the Temple of Justice. It is an honor no conferee can afford to take for granted.
The conferment of the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria is a privilege for the deserving only. Every visionary professional strives to attain the apex of such profession. Expectedly, the rank is being conferred on worthy advocates as a prestigious honor in recognition of their excellence in advocacy and leadership role in the field of law or legal practice.
I have said your elevation to the inner bar today is just the beginning of a lifelong journey. The oath you take today will impose on you certain duties and responsibilities in addition to the duties of a legal practitioner you have always known.
127 applicants participated in the 2024 exercise. Out of this number, 114 are legal practitioners and 13 are academics. The total number of qualified applicants after the preliminary screening was 98 after conducting the specified screening and filtration exercise, which include a number of appearances in superior courts, recommendation by the Honorable Justice of the Supreme Court and Honorable Judges of the Superior Courts, chamber inspection, among others. The LPPC approved 87 successful candidates. From the Supreme Court in Abuja, Kunle Ojo, Galaxy TV.
Still on judicial stories, the High Court in Abuja on Monday again stopped the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from releasing voter register to Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission (RISEC) for the purpose of conducting the October 5, 2024 local government elections in the state. The court also barred the Inspector General of Police (IGP) and the Department of State Service (DSS) from providing security. Justice Peter Lifu issued the order against INEC while delivering judgment in a suit brought before him by the All Progressive Congress. The suit was argued on behalf of the APC by a team of senior lawyers comprising Joseph Daudu, Sebastian and Ogu James Noja Osans. Correspondent Koleojo reports that Justice Lifu held that RISEC was wrong in fixing the October 5 date for the conduct of the poll into the 23 local governments when all relevant laws guiding the election had not been complied with. Justice Peter Lifu also held that the update and revision of voter register ought to have been concluded before an election date conduct be legally and validity fixed in law. The judge therefore ordered INEC not to make the certified voter register available to RISEC until the law has been fully complied with. Justice Peter Lifu also barred RISEC from accepting any voter register from INEC or using it for the purpose of the October 5 local government polls. Counsel to the plaintiff and defendant spoke on the judgment of the court.
From the judgment of the court held that all condition precedent that ought to be fulfilled must be complied with before the elections in Rivers State can be conducted on the 5th of October 2024. And in making this pronouncement, the court held that INEC, that is the first defendant, is bound to ensure that the National Register of Voters that includes Rivers State must be updated.
We have heard the judgment, and for our own part, we came as the Rivers State chapter of the APC to state that the persons who brought the matter to court were not the proper persons, and we asked, because the Rivers State chapter of the APC had already briefed us, to withdraw this matter.
Now to the stories. Blogger Martins Ose, known as Very Dark Man, appeared before a House of Representatives panel on Monday to address bribery allegations involving the EFCC and the Nigerian Correctional Service (NCOS). The panel, consisting of the Committees on Financial Crimes and Reformatory Institutions, is investigating claims made by the blogger. In the viral video, Very Dark Man accused cross-dresser Idris Okoye, popularly known as Bobrisky, of paying 15 million naira to EFCC to drop money laundering charges after his naira spraying incident in April, which led to a 6-month prison sentence. The blogger also alleged that Bobrisky paid additional sums to secure preferential treatment in prison. Bobrisky has denied these claims, while both the EFCC and NCOS have initiated investigations into the matter. As the country celebrates its nation's 64th independence, the Inspector General of Police (IGP) Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun has ordered watertight security across the state to create a safe and conducive environment for citizens of our great nation to celebrate this landmark occasion. As part of the IGP's comprehensive plan to ensure a seamless celebration, the IGP has ordered the deployment of adequate human and tactical resources to enable a maximum level of security for the independence celebration. In a statement issued by FPRO ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, he said that the police, in synergy with other security agencies, will fortify various designated event venues and the major highways across the country to forestall any threat to lives and properties and the celebration. Additionally, the IGP directed all personnel deployed for various operations during the celebration to be cautious and firm in their engagement with members of the public. The Inspector General of Police also felicitated with Nigerians as it commemorates the independence anniversary, noted that Nigerians are urged to reflect on the journey, triumphs and challenges that they have shaped the country, honoring the sacrifices of our founding fathers and the generations that have contributed to our nation's growth, unity and progress. IGP Ekwetokun reiterated that the Nigerian police force remains committed to safeguarding the nation's security, ensuring peaceful coexistence and upholding the rule of law. You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. NLC urges Nigerians who bear the mark of burden of broken promises, exploitations and corruption to not give up hope on the country. Details of that and more after the break. To stay with us. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now for more updates and the latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page as Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 028-6666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. Ahead of the 64th Independence Day celebration, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command says it has strategically deployed adequate personnel and equipment throughout the length and breadth of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. A statement signed by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer SP Josephine Ade on Monday said the deployments are aimed at ensuring that residents of the FCT enjoy a itch-free Independence Day celebration. The statement added that the deployment include explosive ordnance disposal, EOD personnel, anti-riot equipment, and visibility policing, among others. The statement further added that traffic diversion will be implemented in areas expected to experience large crowds, including Central Area and Eagle Square. While celebrating Independence Day, police encouraged the FCT residents to remain vigilant and report any suspicious movement or activities to the FCT police. Nigeria's Independence Day, known colloquially as October 1st, is the day the country gained full autonomous rule from the United Kingdom. 64 years down the line, the country has experienced both the good, the bad and ugly in the spheres of socio-economic and political concave, which many believe the country deserves more than what it's getting. Galaxy News correspondent Labi Joseph takes a look at this journey of sovereignty in this report.
Nigeria was granted independence on October 1st, 1960. A new constitution established a federal system with an elected prime minister and a ceremonial head of state. At the day of independence, Nigeria was seen as the giant of Africa because of the potentials, availability of human, natural, and capital resources.
Given the calibers of leaders that we had since independence, given the inability of these leaders to lead the nations aright, given the monumental corruption that has bedeviled this nation, and given the inability of our leaders to forge a nation, one nation with one destiny from our diversity, it has been a story of regrets.
So which I believe on anything we are doing, let's have dialogue. No matter any ethnic, since we are called Nigeria, let's speak with one voice, agree on one voice, and disagree on one voice. If really we are talking about nation, no matter any ethnic you are having in your country, let's have one voice.
At 64, the situation in the Nigerian state requires critical redirection, both on the side of political leaders and the people in general. There is need for people to believe in the Nigerian project and work towards the objectives.
With the freedom of the individual, it's evil and it's unacceptable. And to that extent, because the military rule by design is an imposition, just like civilian colonial rule was, there can never be a benevolent military rule. And I would dare to say, without any fear of contradiction, that any form of democracy, even the pseudo-democracy we had now, is for me preferable than the most benevolent military rule.
So I think we have some check and balancing, I would call it, that the government, we tell the government to check into it. They need to check into it very well, because we are all Nigerians. So I believe in that security aspect, if that have been done, checking on ethnic, what is their problem, what is their view, all we now move as one nation. I think that insecurity will come down.
Sincerity of purpose, accountability, probity, and selflessness among the political class, opinion leaders, and their followers is the strongest antidote to solve the lingering insidious situation in the country. From Lagos, this is Lebi Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Now to the story teased earlier. The Nigerian Labour Congress has commended all Nigerians, especially workers, for their sacrifice, resilience, a robust spirit in spite of the supposed acts of betrayal by the political leadership at various times and levels of engagement. In a statement signed by NLC President Joe Ajaero on Monday, the Congress also urged the downtrodden Nigerians who bear the marks or burden of those broken promises, exploitation and corruption not to give up on their hope for the country. The statement affirmed that despite the fact that Nigerian sacrifice have been taken for granted for so long, they should learn to protest within the limits of the law against the injustices and subversion of democratic norms, culture and values by the dominant political elite. The statement indicated that it should be apparent to the citizenry that the leading political elites are not ready to do the right thing except they are compelled to do so. It further sounded a note of caution to the political elite whose preoccupation is to circumvent the principles and practice of popular democracy, that undermining of democratic institutions can no longer be business as usual, saying that consequences of the political actors' act of commission or omission brought the country this far. Hence, it is time to turn a new leaf. The United Nations Children Fund UNICEF has said it is partnering with Nigeria to prioritize immunization uptake in 100 local governments across 18 states with the highest concentration of zero-dose children to close the gap of 2.3 million unvaccinated children. Chief UNICEF Field Officer for the Southwest made this known while pledging the international agency's commitment to support Nigeria's healthcare system in reducing zero-dose children as well as improving immunization coverage. The Chief of UNICEF Field Office for the Southwest also expressed concern that the 2.3 million unvaccinated Nigerian children are predominantly in at-risk areas, saying that there was need for concerted effort among stakeholders to enhance routine immunization and reduce zero-dose children. They also added that the UNICEF, in partnership with the government, had prioritized 100 local governments across 18 states with the highest concentration of zero-dose children and increasing the immunization uptake.
In Nigeria, UNICEF, together with the government and valued partners like yourself, we have prioritized 100 LGAs across 18 states with the highest concentration of those zero-dose children that need us. They need us right now. And in collaboration with yourselves, we now need to join hands to accelerate the rate of immunization in Nigeria.
As part of the ongoing Operation Delta Sanity exercise of the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Delta has provided educational materials, hundreds of tables and chairs and other items to 3 primary schools in Warri South local government area of the state. The items, which was conveyed to the 3 schools who demanded them, were supervised by the commander NNS Delta, Commodore Abba Mushin, who was assisted by other senior officials. Our correspondent Dele Fason completes the story.
The items, which runs into hundreds of chairs and tables, writing materials, pumping machines, grass cutting machines, among others, were received at the various schools by the headmasters and mistresses. Addressing journalists, the NNS Delta Commander, Commodore Abba Musi, said the exercise is to give free educational items to schools.
This event is actually an educational program, we call it a free educational rhapsody in the Navy, and the essence of this exercise is to distribute free educational materials to primary schools. And today we have chosen 3 primary schools in Warri South local government area.
The headmaster and headmistresses of the schools expressed gratitude to the Nigerian Navy as the Navy commander called on the pupils to be diligent and hardworking.
Words, I'm very, very pleased for the gesture of the Nigerian Navy. I would like to see they promised us and they kept to their promise.
Overwhelmed. I'm very, very happy to see what you people are doing. I think this is my 2nd school you people are helping. Today you are here today again. I am very happy.
I want to thank you for what the Nigerian Navy has donated for us. These valuable items, and we really appreciate. You are saying thank you. May God bless you all.
Now that I've seen you personally, I want to really appreciate God and thank you for all your efforts in trying to put Warri South Primary School into the hands of affairs. I really appreciate your contribution to Warri South Primary School.
Beneficiaries of these items are actually pupils, young Nigerians that we hope to grow to be the leaders of tomorrow. And the message we have for them is to be very disciplined, very diligent, very hardworking, and to make sure that they put education as the fulcrum of their lives. We want them to eschew very bad conducts such as drug abuse and all sorts of criminalities that lead to decadence in our society.
The educational rhapsody, according to the Nigerian Navy, is part of the non-kinetic approach of the Nigerian Navy under the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala. From Warri in Delta State, Dele Fason reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, have assured of its continued support of training and retraining of personnel of the Nigerian Navy to uphold the requisite discipline required of an armed force to tackle the myriad of contemporary security challenges bedeviling Nigeria. The Chief of Naval Staff made this known at the graduation ceremony of 43 naval police officers at the Nigerian Navy Provost and Regulating School, Makurdi. The Chief of Naval Staff, who was represented by the Chief of Administration, Navy Headquarters, Rear Admiral K.C. Ezekte, congratulated the graduates and called on them to consolidate on what they have learned in order to achieve heights. He, however, commended the instructors and the Commandant as custodian of the service and thanked the Benue State government for the support of the institution.
As newly inducted personnel into the elite provost department, the Nigerian Navy is pleased with the statutory feat you have attained as the custodians of discipline in the service. Our desire is for you to consolidate and sustain what you have learned in this institution in order to achieve greater heights. In your progress in the service, you will be grateful for passing through this institution.
The Commandant Nigerian Navy Provost Regulating School NNPRS Makodi, who conferred provost officers on 43 graduates, expresses confidence on the 4-month intensive training, which he said exposed the students to a wide range of academic curricula, methodologies and exposure, as well as discipline, law enforcement, among others.
Combined graduation ceremony of 2 courses, the Naval Police Officers Basic Course and the Able Regulators Qualifying Course. The courses, which started 18 weeks ago, have been concluded today. While the courses lasted, efforts were made to instill in the students the best practices in law enforcement within the military and outside.
Nigerian Navy Provost and Regulating School community is indeed proud of your achievement during the course and various accomplishments in almost all curriculum and extracurriculum activities. Your brilliant achievements in academics and sports are indeed acknowledged.
Ogun Correctional Center urges graduation for 19 inmates in religious education in a bid to further rehabilitate inmates and reintegrate them into the society. No fewer than 19 inmates of the old Abeokuta Correctional Center are graduated from a Quranic school. The inmates who had been undergoing religious education as part of their rehabilitation while serving their sentences were certified proficient in reading the Quran during a special graduation ceremony held at the correctional facility. The ceremony was themed religion as a key role in offenders' rehabilitation, reflecting the center's focus on using faith-based approaches to reform its inmate. The superintendent in charge of the Maximum Security Custodial Center in Abeokuta, Oladeji Ayola, in a chat with newsmen, expressed satisfaction with the impact of the Quranic school. He called on the inmates who are yet to engage in educational or religious programs to take inspiration from the graduating class.
And those that are keeping themselves in idle now, when they see all this kind of the ceremony we are doing today, now they will be urged to emulate the good things those ones are doing. So that's it. And the major something there is that we need to applaud them, and we need to even sensitize the public that they should not even stigmatize them, so that certificate will be utilized outside. Because when they are being integrated to the society, they will be up and doing, and they will be good for society and the government at large.
The importance of this educational program we are giving to them, it goes a long way in assisting them in behavioral modification, and at the same time it helps in moral damage repair. And at the same time, the third one that it's doing is that it gives spiritual protection and spiritual attention, which will now in turn be a giving peace to the society.
17 males and 2 females, making 19 inmates are graduating, celebrating their Wolimatu Quran today. The word of God goes a long way in reforming and rehabilitating the soul of human beings. So I'm very sure they are now another person entirely. They have been reformed via the word of God that has been introduced and been given to them. So today I'm very sure if they have the opportunity of going back into the society, they are going to be of a good product and they will surely be of a good citizen to the country.
And to other stories, the Labour Party on Monday urged President Bola Tinubu to do a critical assessment of his administration and sack all the ministers and heads of government agencies and parastatals that have done nothing to substantially move the country forward. Addressed the press in Abeokuta on Monday, the Factional Publicity Secretary of the party, Comrade Abayomi Arabambi, said the bitter truth is that even under President Tinubu, Nigeria has not moved forward. Arabambi blamed the stunted growth of the country in the last 64 years to the lack of political will and capacity by the past administration to serve the people and pursue good governance, equity and justice that drives all-encompassing development. Arabambi equally said that the president should, as a matter of urgency, withdraw the licenses of the electricity distribution company as they have done too poorly to address the challenge of the electric power supply in the country.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu must, as a matter of urgency, withdraw the certificate and license of the following discos and encourage state government and private electricity company to take over in order to pave way for a better and more prosperous nation, which will bring about a great reduction in prices of goods and services. The Kaduna the distribution company, Kano electric distribution company, Yola EDC, Jos EDC, Abuja EDC, Ibadan EDC, Ikeja, Lagos, Eko EDC, Port Harcourt EDC, Enugu EDC, and Benin EDC.
Dozens of protesters from Zamfara State on Monday converged at the headquarters of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in Abuja, demanding the continuation of the investigation into former Zamfara Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale. The protesters, under the banner of the APC Loyalist Forum, implored the EFCC to investigate Matawale for allegedly embezzling billions of naira. Musa Mahmood, chairman of the APC Akeda Forum AAF, claimed the former governor should be made to account for over 290 billion naira from the FARC and 133 billion naira from the JAC received between 2019 and 2023. Additionally, the protesters also demanded the former governor to explain the 105 billion naira loan taken during his tenure. The group praised the EFCC for its unbiased fight against corruption, citing the Commission's swift action against other officials like former Minister Beta Ido. Receiving the protest letter, EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale assured the groups that the Commission remains committed to pursuing all corruption cases to their conclusion.
The Commission will do everything within its power to investigate every act of economic and financial crime. We have been doing it, we will continue to do it. And I also want to use this forum to also express the fact that the Commission recognizes the right of Nigerians to peaceful protest.
We have gathered here with facts and figure regarding Bello Matawale alleged embezzlement of billions of naira. He reportedly need to account for over 290 billion from FARC and 133 billion from JAC that he received from 2019 to 2023. Additionally, he is also expected to explain the 105 billion loan he took during his tenure.
Meanwhile, the operatives of the Sokoto Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have apprehended 13 suspected internet fraudsters in Sokoto State, according to an official statement from the EFCC on Monday via X. The suspects were arrested on Saturday, September 28, 2024, in the Gidaniyaro and Dandima areas of Sokoto, following actionable intelligence on their alleged involvement in internet-related crimes. They were arrested on Saturday, September 28, 2024 at the Gidan Yaro and Dandima areas of Sokoto State based on actionable intelligence on their suspected involvement in internet-related offences. All the suspects claim to be students of Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. They will be charged to court upon conclusion of investigation. The agency further noted that the suspects will be charged in court after the conclusion of ongoing investigation. You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. We are glad to have you back. Now moving on with the stories. Oyo State government has reiterated its commitment to youth empowerment through digital skills acquisition. This came up during a press conference held at the Youth Development Agency office. The chairman of Oyo State Youth Development Agency, Prince Adebowale Falana, said the Seyi Makinde-led administration places importance on digital skills, hence the decision to train its youth freely on digital literacy at the University of Ibadan International Conference Center. Falana noted that though the state had in mind to train 3,000 successful candidates, the government has vowed to empower all 12,000 who applied. Also speaking, the Implementation Committee Chairman Oyo Olusegun Ayoade noted that the initiative would enhance digital learning and learning among youth in Oyo State and Nigeria as a whole.
Basically, to train youths on one, web development, 2, digital marketing, 3, Amazon country publishing, then 4, the artificial intelligence. Basically, we all know the roles of digital in our recent and current economic situation and what we are doing in the written world among the youths.
It's an opportunity for the young people to earn and learn directly from the state. Earn meaning they are learning skills that they can use to earn. So these are skills, these are real life skills that they can implement within 1, 2, 3 months and they can start earning.
Now, we move to the international desk for more news.
Hello and welcome to the foreign news. The body of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, killed in an Israeli airstrike in southern Beirut, has been recovered. Friday's airstrike also killed Ali Karaki, the group's top commander in southern Lebanon. Hezbollah said it has not named others who died alongside Nasrallah and Karaki. A medical source and a security source said Nasrallah's body was found intact at the site of an Israeli air attack on Beirut's southern suburbs. Meanwhile, the Israeli military disclosed it has also killed Nabil Kauk amid an exchange of strikes between the two sides. Kauk had been a member of Hezbollah since the 1980s, previously serving as Deputy Director General of the southern region. Israel's military said that more than 20 other terrorists of varying ranks were also killed in the attack. The UN Refugee Agency operates at 4 crossing points to assist those fleeing Lebanon for safety in Syria. At least 100,000 people have crossed from Lebanon into Syria, fleeing Israel's bombardment. The UN Refugee Agency said. UNHCR's chief Filippo Grandi said on Monday that the number of people who have crossed into Syria from Lebanon fleeing Israeli airstrikes, Lebanese and Syrian nationals, have reached 100,000, also stating that the UN agency is operating at 4 crossing points along with local authorities and the Syrian Red Crescent. Many of them fled the war in Syria that started in 2011 when an initially peaceful anti-government uprising was met with a brutal crackdown by President Bashar al-Assad. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday vowed to achieve all his objectives in Ukraine, marking the second anniversary of the annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions as the Russian army reported fresh advances in the conflict. Moscow has captured dozens of Ukrainian towns and villages this year, advancing despite Kyiv's counter-offensive into Russian-held territory. Russia claimed to annex the Ukrainian regions of Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhzhia and Kherson in September 2022, although it does not fully control any of them. The Kremlin has intensified its assault in western Ukraine in recent months, pressing its advantage as Ukrainian soldiers face exhaustion and continuous bombardment. The Russian army announced on Monday that its troops had liberated the Ukrainian village of Nelipivka, which had a population of about 1,000 before the conflict. The village is located just north of the Ukrainian town of New York, where Kyiv claimed to have made gains earlier in September. The primary target of Moscow's recent offensive has been the Ukrainian logistics hub of Pokrovsk, a city on key road and rail routes that supply Kyiv's forces along the front line. And still on foreign news, search and rescue teams in Nepal capital peaked through wrecked homes on Monday after water receded from monsoon floods that killed at least 192 people around the Himalayan Republic. Deadly floods and landslides are common across South Asia during the monsoon season from June to September, but experts say climate change is making them worse. Entire neighborhoods in Kathmandu were inundated after the heaviest rains in more than 2 decades, with the capital temporarily cut off from the rest of Nepal after landslides blocked highways. At least 35 of those killed were buried alive when earth from a landslide careened into vehicles on a highway south of Kathmandu. Nepal police spokesman Dan Bahadur Karki said rescuers in knee-high rubber boots, meanwhile, were using shovels to clear mud from the worst-hit riverside neighborhoods around Kathmandu, many of them unauthorized slum settlements. 6 of China's biggest banks said they would tweak interest rate as mortgages for existing home loans following a request to lower them from Beijing's central bank, state media said on Monday, as the country seeks to pull itself out of a housing slump. The measures are the latest in a raft of pledges out of Beijing since last week, aimed at kickstarting the world's number 2 economy. The tertiary property sector has long accounted for around a quarter of gross domestic product and experienced dazzling growth for 2 decades. On Monday, the state agency said that China's 6 major national commercial banks, including the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, the Agricultural Bank of China, and the Bank of China, had agreed to adjust mortgage rate for existing home loans. The move followed a request by Beijing's central bank that they lower the rate in a bid to reduce pressure on homeowners. And finally, on foreign news, the UK has closed a chapter on its 142-year history of a coal-fired power, marking a symbolic and pivotal moment in a global shift towards cleaner energy. As of 30th September 2024, the nation's last coal power plant was decommissioned, making the UK the first G7 country to eliminate coal from its energy mix. This move, occurring in the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, not only signals the end of an era, but also reinforces the global momentum towards renewable energy sources, positioning solar and wind at the forefront of the future. The closure comes as the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development countries have collectively halved their coal generation since its peak in 2007, driven by the rise of solar and wind energy. According to a report released on Monday, the UK is the 14th OECD country to achieve a coal-free power system, with the remaining OECD nations aiming for full phase-out by 2030. Coal's role in the UK energy mix has been shrinking for years. In 2012, coal made up 40% of UK electricity generation, but by 2019, it was just 2%, a figure that has now dropped to 0. And that's all we have on the foreign news.
Coming your way next to entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Rose Blossom Mwe. Here are the stories on Entertainment News Desk for today. Legendary Nigerian comedian Ali Baba exposes the extravagant spending habit of a popular musician who splurged over 1.5 billion naira on a frivolous lifestyle. The revelation came during a recent episode of the Eden Oasis reality podcast where Ali Baba recounted the musician's excessive spending after major performances. According to Ali Baba, the musician was paid 400 million naira for a performance in Dubai and received an additional 500 million naira for another international gig. Instead of making strategic investment, the artist indulged in a luxurious lifestyle, spending the vast sum on a car, another luxury car, expensive jewelry, and a lavish shopping spree. Ali Baba emphasized that in less than 2 months, the musician had burned through more than 1.5 billion naira. The comedian expressed disappointment, pointing out the various investment opportunities that could have been explored, such as purchasing land, building a recording studio, or even constructing an event center that could generate long-term income. Nigerian singer J1 has clapped back at rapper Odumodu Black for making a mockery of him using their female colleague Ira Star. The rapper, via X platform, has shared a photo of Ira Star meeting with American rapper Future. In the viral photo, the Marvin singer had calls up to Future as they posed for the gram. Odumodu Black compared the photo with the one Ira Star took with J1. Refreshing your memory, J1 trended after a viral photo of Ira Star pushing away his hands from her hips on the internet. In the photo, the two entertainers struck a pose to take a shot. However, what drew the attention of netizens was how Ira Star held J1. She was seen holding his palm with the tip of her fingers as they stood side by side to avoid him touching her. Replying to him, J1 noted how he was already dragging him as he questioned who would drag him to. He stated that Odumodu hadn't started life and was already stepping on toes. Surprisingly, many netizens took to the defense of J1 as they slammed Odumodu Black. Nigerian music star David Adeleke, known as Davido, and his beautiful wife Chioma are gearing up for their white wedding in the Caribbean. According to reports online, the couple are set to shut down the Caribbean island, Bahamas, for their fairy tale wedding in the month of love, which is February. The blogger reported the news said the wedding is going to be a premium classic. Recall that on Tuesday, June 25th, 2024, social media was agog as Davido walked down the aisle with the love of his life and mother of his 3 kids, Chioma Adeleke. There is no doubt that Davido and Chioma's marriage has stood the test of time. From the death of their son to Davido's several cheating scandals, this couple keeps waxing stronger. Finally, on entertainment news, fan shares video as he accuses sensational singer Asake of damaging his iPhone 16 Pro Max while trying to take a photo with him in France. The Terminator singer recently stormed the city of Paris, where he gave fans a thrilling performance. A fan revealed that he didn't have an altogether pleasant experience with the Nigerian singer. The fan shared a video capturing the moment he tried to take a selfie with the musician, but the singer moved the iPhone away from the fan's hand. From the video, it was evident that the phone had fallen to the ground and damaged. He lamented over the damaged phone as he shared the several cracks the iPhone had sustained from the fall. And that'll be all on entertainment news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Rose Blossom Mwe. Bye for now.
And that is all we have for you. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Erebami Salako.